Chip chop chip.
Chip chop chip.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Pulse Review, the channel where you get a quick take on the hottest products. And today we're going to be reviewing the Razer Orochi V2. One of my subscribers requested it in the comments section below. That's right, I do actually read the comments below. So if you guys want me to review something, go ahead and leave a comment below. Shout out to True Pro Gamer. This video is dedicated to you. So here's what we're going to cover in this video. First, we're going to do a little unboxing. Then we're going to talk about the sensor. Next up, the customizability and special features, the weight and the size of the mouse, the aesthetic appeal, battery life, the price point, and I'm going to loop in some gameplay at the end of me using the mouse in Call of Duty Warzone. All right, time to get this sucker out of the box. Okay, time to dive into the sensor. The Razer Orochi V2 has an 18K DPI sensor. While that is lower than quite a few other mouses on the market, like Logitech is launching mice with 25K DPI sensors, it's still gonna do the job just fine. If you actually push your DPI greater than 4,000 or 5,000, I'd really like to know in the comments. To be honest, I really can't think of an application where you'd want to go higher than that. I really just think that mice these days are trying to, one up each other and show that their sensors are better than other ones. In reality, it doesn't matter that much. The Razer Orochi V2 has 6 programmable buttons, USB and Bluetooth connectivity, as well as 1 onboard memory profile. So to get the most out of this mouse, I recommend you download the software from Razer. That's the Razer Synapse app. The Razer Synapse app allows you to customize all sorts of things. Now, this mouse in particular does not have RGB, but you can customize other things like what the buttons do on the side. You can actually customize the left and right click, the scroll wheel click, and this quick DPI switch button in the front. You can set them to whatever command you want, keyboard function. There's pretty much endless possibilities there. One thing I'd like to mention as well is the Razer mechanical button switches. Now, these really bounce back super fast. I definitely, while I was playing, experienced no issues with clicking, and as you can see right there, you can really mash this thing quickly. If you pop open the case on the top, there is a nice little compartment for the USB wireless receiver that slots right in there, so you never have to worry about misplacing it. So moving on to the weight and size of the mouse. So the Razer Orochi V2 is 60 grams or 2.2 ounces. That's a pretty lightweight mouse. However, I feel like it's pretty tiny, and for me, I'm not a big fan of small mouses. It's probably because I have large hands. So if you don't have large hands, then take that with a grain of salt. What I will say is the backside kind of arches up and it fills out your palm quite nicely for how small of a mouse it is. Also, the weight is pretty evenly distributed. If you take notice here, the battery is actually on an angle, so it evenly distributes the weight from left to right. The buttons on the side are pretty nicely positioned. Some mouses, they have the buttons a bit too far back here, and you really gotta stretch your thumb and reach back, and it's a bit awkward and uncomfortable. The Razer Orochi V2, I guess depending on your grip, that might change for you, but they felt comfortable for me. Now, if you want to kick the weight down a little bit more, what I love about this thing is you actually can remove the AA battery here, and they gave you a slot for a AAA battery. It won't last as long as a AA battery, of course, but if you want to kick the weight down, then that's a great option that they included with this mouse. Next up, we're talking about the aesthetic appeal. So as you may have noticed, this is the all-white version, but it comes in black, or there's actually a custom design option. So yes, you can flex your creativity and create your own design, but keep in mind that does cost you a little bit extra. The Orochi V2 has a symmetrical design, however, it doesn't have an option for buttons on the right side, so if you're left-handed, you're out of luck. I have to say the white one looks especially nice, and if you have an all-white setup, it's gonna go really nicely. And I like that there's a nice contrast here with the black scroll wheel on top, and then in the side, I guess you'd call it the rim of the scroll wheel, there's a nice white contrasting accent color right there. Very nice touch. Unfortunately, there's no RGB on the Orochi, which, as a big RGB fanboy, you know that disappoints me. But they do make up for it with the battery life, which is a great segue into that. The Razer Orochi pumps out some serious battery life. With only one lithium battery, you're getting 425 hours of playtime on the 2.4 gigahertz USB receiver, but if you switch over to Bluetooth, you get 950 hours. That's some serious battery life. Last thing I want to mention is at 5% battery life, there is a charging indicator that will flash red twice, letting you know that it's time to charge. Last but not least, we have to talk about the price point. At $90 for the custom option and $70 for the black or white colorways, it is a little bit more expensive than its competitor, the G305. That said, there are quite a bit more features that you get from this mouse over the Logitech G305. You get USB and Bluetooth connectivity. You have hundreds more hours of battery life. It's lighter weight, and it has an 18K sensor, which is an upgrade from the 12K sensor on the G305. So all that said, I think you get quite a bit bang for your buck with this mouse. I'd recommend you guys try and pick this up. If you have larger hands, maybe skip this one. It is quite tiny. If you're thinking about picking this mouse up, I left a link down in the description below. That is an affiliate link. It helps support the channel at no cost to you at all, so I appreciate if you use it. If you like the video, make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe if you want more content like this. You know what to do. And before you go, I have some gameplay at the end of the video as well as the bloopers, so don't skip out on those. All right, guys, see you in the next video. Peace. For a AAA button. Button? It's a battery. It's a battery, dude. Come on. A 1800 DP, I'm sorry, that's wrong. To use your specific customizing settings. It also has one onboard memory profile, the mechanical button mountain, Razer mechanical mouse switches, the Razer mechanical button switches. Is it really? Mouse switches. Next up, we're talking about the weight and the size of this mouse. So moving on to the weight and the size of this mouse. Moving on to my final point, and that is, so as I mentioned,
Safe zone relocated. Enemy UAV overhead.
Mark target for airstrike.
3-1, good copy. Strike inbound. Only 5 remain. We'll secure the win next time. We lost that one. Next time.
This is the guy who kills me.